Well, the weather for the whole of the south of England will continue as it has for the next few weeks. It's going to be hot and moist, with temperatures rising steadily as time goes on. There's a chance of steamy moments as we move into the... sod it. We never wanted to do this. We never wanted to be weathermen and women making innuendos about hot atmospheres and drizzly countries. We didn't want to be child-friendly. We didn't want to bang on about being for over 18s only. We want to talk about our sexy adventures. We want to be lifestylers, leaping from bush to bush as we sail down the rivers of British sex clubs and mountains of crazy experiences. The cheeky purple mamba, the liquid silk pumped liberally into our hand, the rodeo classic brief harness complete with Tanta's curve, the Enjoy Pure One stainless steel dildo, the hot octopus digit, the ever so short messages on Fab Swingers, the sexy friends on Twitter, and the mighty vanilla alternative. With my best girlie by my side, we'd swing, swing, swing.
Get in the gym or to your car. With our advice, you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes. And talk about our sexy dates. It's getting hard for this to rhyme. Just as well, 'cause it's bed hopping time.
Hello and welcome to the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name's Mr. H.
And I'm Mrs. H.
Thank you for joining us today. Firstly, before we go any further, we've got something to say.
Happy New Year.
That's right. Happy New Year, folks. Hope you had a sparklingly awesome New Year and that you've already settled into the new one perfectly well, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed for you. Hopefully, if you're listening to this, you're also, you've got your tickets to our Red Hot party in February, right? Party.
It's a pop party.
I'm so excited I can't even say it straight, right? So we have got only a few tickets left.
Oh my goodness. How many? 13?
Well, at the time of
talking.
Of recording, we had 13 left.
No single guy tickets.
No single guys left.
13 couples.
13 couples. And a couple of single lady tickets left, I believe. So if you're interested in coming along on the 25th of February, please get in touch, follow the link on the show notes and get your ticket in quickly because those things are going.
They really are. It's shaping up to be a splendiferous event.
Splendiferous?
Yes.
Scrumdiddlyumptious. So I'm really excited about this one because the Discord chat has been going off on one. I
can't keep up that.
Well, there's so much stuff happening. So we've got the sexy pics thread is now open. So people are sharing all the sexy pictures.
Yes, they are.
We've got
never open that in a public place.
never do that. It's really hot. We've also got sort of general chats. We've got important information. This is all kicking off and people are jumping in, answering questions, asking questions, getting to know each other, making new mates and friends.
Yeah, it's all good fun.
People have been catching up with each other. This is great. I am really, really excited.
Me too.
With the combination of Penthouse Playrooms, us and Cate and Darrell from the Wanderlust Swingers, who we're going to be talking about in just a moment, it is going to be
Spoilers.
An epic event.
Have you got your outfit?
No.
You're not buying one?
I am. I will. I'm going to make one then.
What, a fashion one? From some red velvet or something?
Some bin liners, some red bin liners that I found and some red paint and a red cupboard.
Red bin liners?
I don't know. Someone does. It probably means something particular.
Sounds like a crime scene thing.
It does, doesn't it? And I will look like a crime scene. People will want to investigate me.
I should probably now think about what I'm going to wear since it's next month.
Well, I'm going to say that if you don't have your outfit sorted by the end of January, you are not going.
Wow.
I'm just going to put my foot down.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to say no.
Really? You can't eject me.
I can remove you. I can absolutely. I can remove you from the chat and I can get your name put down so you can't come on.
Remove you from your chat. What do you want?
No, you cannot remove me.
Yes, I can.
You think you can, but you cannot. However, good. But the point is that for New Year's Eve, we were going to an event, right?
Oh, here we go.
And like 6.5 minutes before we left, you were still trying to make up your mind as to what to wear. You'd had months to prepare for this.
Well,
and you just only get your shit in order like 2 minutes before. I'm not going through that.
The night before.
It was also the day of. I'm sure you were like, I'm not quite sure.
Since we're chucking people under buses right here,
yep.
I'm just going to point out that Kate took no fewer than 5 outfits with her because she couldn't decide either.
But she took those 5 outfits and didn't make a fuss over it, as far as I can assume. I didn't see what goes on behind those doors. But I can assure you that there was no fuss when we saw them.
Fine, whatever. Was it worth it? Did I look nice?
You looked stunningly delightful.
Excellent.
However, the frustration that I went through to get you to pack one fucking dress was just, it was a nightmare. So I'm putting my foot down. You need to have decided and made up your mind about what you're wearing by the end of January.
Oh, okay. I also want to do a high five, right, to myself.
Oh, good.
Because we got through a New Year's Eve without me falling asleep in a bathroom.
Yep.
Being sick.
Yep.
Having an argument. Being a belligerent, drunken bellend.
Without you doing any of those things.
Yes, me.
Yeah, this just on you, that's pretty good going.
For me, that's really good, right? We had a really good New Year's Eve and I didn't do any of those things.
Well, we're going to tell you about our New Year's Eve.
Yeah, but I just wanted to foreshadow it.
You wanted to foreshadow.
By saying I was not a drunken twat.
Okay, this is very good.
I didn't say you were either.
Oh, thank you. Me, which is normally my technique.
Yeah, but I do have previous track record on being a bit of a fun cone.
You do, particularly for New Year's Eve, but I think...
Just drink too much and I'm tired.
I think there is a combination of that.
combination.
I think you were getting tired by the time we left and we'll get into that.
I was very tired.
But I think overall, it was a high five all round.
Yes.
Everyone had a nice time. It was a good experience.
Me.
Well done us, but in particular you. But also not well done you for the bellend experience before we left when you were trying to figure out what you were going to wear and having so many hissy fits. It was untrue.
Wasn't drunk then though.
No, you were just being sulky and being... Anyways, we want to talk about New Year's Eve and where we went, what we did, who we did, and how it went down.
Rude.
Why is that rude?
Who we did.
Who we did. Humble brags. It's all about it today. But firstly, we want to talk about... So we went to Amsterdam.
We did.
We flew into Amsterdam from our local little airport, which was much more convenient than driving to friggin' London and doing it, which was cool.
Much easier.
And the delightful, amazing, glorious, sexy us went on this plane. And
I know where you were going with this.
I know, right? But we got off the plane and then the equally wonderful, delightful, sexy, etc. Cate and Darrell picked us up from the airport.
Are you going to preface every person in this story with a delightful, wonderful, sexy something?
No, I'm just setting the scene.
Okay.
They're from the Wanderlust Swingers. We've talked about them before. We're co-hosting that event with them. But we went to stay with them for New Year's Eve. And our plan was, after they, picked us up with Penny, their dog as well, who's a delight, by the way, absolute delight, was to go to a club.
Yes.
While we were out there. And then hang around with them for a day or so afterwards, right?
Until we want to get rid of it.
Until they basically kick us out.
Hang around.
I think they would have had us stay there longer. Which would have been nice. We'd have definitely been happy to, if only we didn't have to work and have pets and stuff to take care of at home. I know, right? Life getting in the way, which sucks. However, they picked us up. They took us immediately. We drove from Amsterdam, or they drove to
Rotterdam.
There we go.
But we stopped in Gouda. I remember.
Gouda.
Well,
something like that.
Gouda.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I say, young man.
However you want to pronounce it. We stopped there and had some lunch.
Gouda.
We had some mulled wine and a little bit of lunch.
We had some nice lunch.
And then we carried on to Rotterdam, where the club is.
Where we
were staying that night.
Exactly. Shout out, though, to the restaurant. I can't remember its name, but it was very good.
That's not good, is it?
But they had some great gluten-free stuff. And for you, as part of your journey to discovery and part of your not being poorly all the time, we were able to get you some nice gluten-free stuff. And it was really cool.
It was so good. I actually double-checked with them. Are you sure this is gluten-free before I eat it? Because
are you shitting me? Is this gluten-free?
It looked too good.
I know, right?
And I was like, what if they got it wrong and they've just given me really nice bread? But it was amazing.
So setting the scene, this hotel that we stayed at is very near the club itself and actually runs shuttle buses to and from the club, right? So we get into reception and we're booking our space on the voyage out, which is fine. That was at a nice, reasonable sort of quarter to nine in the evening. So just as the club was opening. And the return bus was what time, dear?
4:45 in the morning.
So they said the only one we've got coming back, the only space one we've got is 4:45 in the morning.
4:45
Mrs. H literally went, what, in the morning? Yelled out, and the whole reception in the hotel spun around to
I didn't believe them.
I know you didn't.
And then I said, well, what am I going to do till then? I'm going to be dead. I'm not going to be able to stay awake until 5 a.m. Okay, it's New Year's Eve and I understand that there's a level of partying, but also I'd be fucking dead at 5 in the morning. So I looked at them horrified and I was just like, are you sure? Like, What do I do?
I love the fact they said that that's the only space we've got.
And they looked back at me and laughed, and then just like tell me that was the only bus they had.
Yeah, that's just that or nothing. That or bust.
So I had to pay for it as well. Pay for the privilege of being picked up at 5 a.m. I mean, great that they do a shuttle.
Yeah,
and
it was cool.
It's not their fault that it got booked up. I was like,
it was cool. At least they offer that transport
totally.
there.
It's amazing that we do.
And to be fair, the hotel was really, really lovely.
It was lovely. Really nice.
And we were able to go down and have a few drinks because we arrived there with plenty of time before we needed to get ready.
Do you want to caveat a few by about 20 million?
No, it wasn't that many. It was quite a few.
It was quite a few.
It was quite a few. But it was really nice because we were able to meet some of Cate and Darrell's friends that they've made over there.
The club as
and they
well
were really lovely and really friendly. So we were able to chat about the differences between the different clubs and different places, moan about, UK politics because, being British, we've got to do that.
In fact, the whole bar was filling up with residents for hotel, and it was clear most of them were going to go to that club at night.
What we really enjoyed doing was having a look around the room and seeing who was using like the local sites to scroll through to see who was on there, see if they can match up who was there.
Just like peering over people's shoulders on settees, like, oh yeah, they're checking out some talent.
Yeah, it was interesting though, because looking around that room in the hotel, I was thinking, wow, the age demographic seems to be a lot higher than what we've been used to going into clubs.
I would agree with that.
So I had a little bit of a
certainly in the hotel.
Yeah, in the hotel. And I was thinking, oh, is it going to be are people going to be a lot older? How are we going to feel about this in the club?
Well,
what's going to go on?
Great.
You're going to feel great. Well, you always feel great. So we were like, I had this in the back of my mind. But anyway, we had to go up and get ready, which I think you had to do in like an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes.
But
just about. It was dragging you out of the room with 3 minutes. We were supposed to go and celebrate and have a nice little drink with Cate and Darrell while we were all changed and have a glass of bubbly and then get down to the thing. We arrived with 2 minutes to go before the thing was due to arrive.
Yes.
Before the bus was. So it was cutting it close.
I was ready though.
You were ready. You looked lovely.
I want it on record, I was ready.
Well, let's put in context. You were ready to go on the bus. You weren't ready to go down there and have a drink and chill out for 20 minutes. That was not what you were doing. Yeah, is that fair?
I'll take it.
Okay, I had heard that. So we got to the club, which was literally a 3-minute drive.
You're prone to exaggeration. It was not 3 minutes.
Well, it's 3.5 kilometres.
Yes. So it was probably close to 7 or 8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pedantism at its finest.
I'm channeling a bit of Darrell.
Well, the reason that I say this is that one of the things was that if we couldn't get the cab at that time and we decided to leave earlier, could we walk back? So we all packed an element of flat shoes in our bags.
Shoes. I was fully intending to as well.
I couldn't, having travelled that a couple of times there and back and having gone out of the hotel, there's no way on earth you'd have walked that.
I was genuinely willing to try.
You'd have killed a motherfucker. You'd have stabbed someone. You'd have been better off just sleeping in the back of the club.
Well, that was the other thing I was thinking. Is it going to be a pile of coats I can sleep on? Can I just find a nice room and just kip?
So we get to the club and we get dropped outside.
What's the club called? Have we mentioned it?
It is called?
I want to say Fun4two.
Fun4two.
Is it?
It is.
I was like, wait, is it 2 for fun? Wait, that doesn't sound like
Fun4two.
Fun4two. Fun4two. Is that like a numerical 4?
Probably. I'll put a link to their site in the show notes so you can have a look at it. But as you get to the gate, it looks very nice. It looks kind of like a really large sort of, not
windmill.
Mansion, but...
Looked like a windmill.
That's because there was a windmill.
Oh.
There was like a sort of prop thing. It was sort of like a nice large house, basically, with lots of sort of offshoot building-y bits going on to it. And the first thing that we saw was a queue that was about, I guess, 40 deep, 50 deep.
Oh my God, it was huge.
It was a big queue. And I was a little bit nervous about getting in there. And the reason that I say this is because I had to buy the tickets. So you sorted out the plane tickets.
Did.
And I sorted out the club tickets. And of course, it's not in English.
No,
and it has to be Google translated. And there's a whole bunch of instructions and that you had to sign up to the club first. And then you get an R number and then you take your R number with you and you use the R number to buy the tickets and you've got to take both to the thing. And it felt like there were 101 little bits that I had to...
Sounds like a Monty Python puzzle to me.
It does a little bit. I was a bit... I thought I'd done it right because I'd read it so carefully and several times before I actioned anything. But I was still a bit like, oh, we're going to get to the door. They're going to turn us away. It's going to be...
Can you imagine?
Yes, I can imagine. That sort of thing happens to us all the time. And I was just a bit nervous about it. But the queue went really fast, to be fair.
It was quite quick. And we did get to look at all the scenery on the way through. And it was all really pretty because it was all red lights everywhere.
It was a burlesque theme for the night, for New Year's Eve.
So red lights everywhere. And they were kind of illuminating all the outdoor fountains and arches and gardens, and they were really beautiful. And you'd kind of go down this cobbly path and you'd get to stand there and admire all the gardens and stuff. And it was quite dark when we got there as well. But everything just looked really pretty.
It did. It looked really nice.
Balloons everywhere in arches. It was lovely.
And of course, everyone had made an effort and had sort of tried to adopt the theme. So people were looking really nice.
Oh, yeah. There were some terrific outfits just in the queue alone. Yeah. I was like, wow, people have really gone over, like really gone all out on a limb for this.
Yeah. So we get ushered through the doors and it's like a little short passageway, a couple of meters long or whatever. And there's the till and the details. So we just showed our stuff and they were like, okay, we got your number. Brilliant. Done, 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 done. Here's your key. Off you fuck. And we're like, brilliant. This is great. I'm like, we're in. And then there's like all sorts of little corridors going off in different directions. And Cate and Darrell are kind of explaining which way to go and where. But the first thing we want to do.
Been once before, hadn't they?
They had been once before. And this is the place which, if you've ever heard Cate talk about this episode, is about the lockers that are color coordinated. So you get a key and you might get a red locker key and then you go up and it's a red locker.
I did not actually even notice that.
No, I know you didn't.
Completely lost on me. What I did notice straight away was the wall of stairs that I was met with.
Like a vertical climb.
And I think this is just part of Holland. Generally, the architecture is everything is tall, narrow, steep. So you'll often find, I think, the steps in most places are really, really sort of steep, aren't they? And treacherous.
Yeah.
And these were no exception. They were really, really, really steep. Anyone with heels on was going to be,
I think, when you go into the country, one of the things you very quickly learn is that stairs are something that are mastered sideways.
Yeah.
And that really, really applied here. And that there are lots of, in fact, the whole place is filled with little ladders, little stairs, little windy places. And you have to be fairly nimble on your feet. So getting absolutely drunk would be a complete nightmare and probably would end your life. There's also lots of little railings with balconies and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're going there, keep your wits about you and be prepared to sort of shimmy your way up a lot of different places. Otherwise,
I think I climbed down backwards a few times with some of them. It was safer.
Yeah, and they're not like small heights either. Lots of the little areas you have to climb up a ladder type thing to get there, or you have to shimmy through something. So you really need to have your wits about you, I'd say. Now, as we went in, got changed and sorted ourselves out and put our stuff in the locker. And then we had a bit of a wander around. Oh yeah,
well, it was still relatively quiet upstairs, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was mostly quiet. So we experienced a whole number of the different rooms that were out there. So I'm going to try and sort of remember some of them and just give you a bit of a description before we go on to the main area and the food bit, which I think you'll want to talk about.
Sure.
So there was a little miniature sort of village that was totally themed, that had lights and twinkling stars and each little house in that miniature village, and I'm talking like a Disney theme park kind of ride in many ways, and that it was all very well set dressed. Each of those doors opened up and was another playroom.
Yeah,
which was fantastic. There was like group rooms where you had to go up a ladder, go in. There was sort of a big hot tub area and a sort of wet area.
Oh, wet area looked amazing.
It looked really It looked
beautiful.
Lovely when it was quiet, and then it got really busy and looked like an absolute.
But when we were walking through and there was no one in it, it looked stunning.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. I was like quite gobsmacked by it.
There was a little sort of Bedouin sort of area that had a sort of almost Moroccan feel. And a little section that had like lots of modern lighting around it, like almost like a neon Tokyo kind of feel, where there were loads of little passageways and a great big tiger on a wall.
I remember the glass doors that had penis-shaped doorknobs.
Yeah, they had penis-shaped doorknobs.
But they were really ornate and it didn't look immediately obvious until you grasped the door handle and you were like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then there was like a beautiful little sort of passageway that led through, as you say, to this little kind of almost like temple-y kind of vibe. And
there was like a tantric area.
Yes, it was
which
amazing.
Had a number, it was sort of opened up into a sort of main room that had like a bed or whatever in the middle, but then had 3 or 4 little sort of tented areas at the top.
With little ladders leading up to them.
Which is really cool. And they were all sort of had like a temple sort of ritualistic sort of vibe to them. Not
like
ritualistic in the, you know.
Sort of obscuring the entrance, but not like lockable rooms, but just like a curtainy drape thing.
Yeah, it was all really sort of tranquil and calm. It wasn't like the
decorated.
Kali Ma style of ritual. It was more the sort of nice temple type.
Yeah, it was really nice. And there were little lights set on the ceiling, which gave it a really nice vibe.
Yeah.
So I was drawn to those areas.
So we kind of went through everywhere and had a look at all the different play areas, and there was
is there like a mezzanine balcony, isn't there?
Little mezzanine balcony that overlooked the sort of dance floor, the bar, and there was also sort of like a mini restaurant in there.
Downstairs.
So, you know, we get in and the dance floor wasn't too packed, and there was a little bar there and some seating where you could just chill out and hang around. And there's lots of seating lining the walls and stuff.
There's loads of seating, to be fair. It's like all around the perimeter of the dance floor. It's like settees and sort of like tables. So it's quite a lot.
Yeah. And some places it was a bit loud, and other places it was deliberately quiet so you could have more of a conversation, which was really cool. I like that. And we stopped before it got late and had a bite to eat while we were in the little restaurant. And it was literally, you know, you kind of wait there, someone lets you in, gives you a seat, or you have to queue up for the seats, and it's a little buffet. And to be fair, it was full on cooked food. So it was like chicken satay, there was like some sort of beef chow mein type thing, dauphinoise potatoes,
piles of bread, rolls,
cheese plates. Yeah. It was all really cool, and you can have a coffee there as well, and that's all included in the price. And all the drinks were also included on the night as well.
Yeah, so this is something that I was really surprised about, and I think I was also surprised by this when we went to Trapeze in America. But you get food.
Yeah.
And this is a concept that I was really baffled by, because I think in my head I'm like, why would you want to eat a meal and then go to the playrooms? Yeah. It just feels weird to me. But at the same time, I love the fact that they include food.
You love food, basically. Food. Yeah, I think that was the main thing.
So it's a kind of like double-edged sword of, oh my goodness, I could go crazy and eat too much and then not feel like playing. Also, it's nice that they give you some food. So.
Yeah. I mean, having a look around, I think some people were taking advantage of the buffet.
Oh yeah, they were like really going for it.
I guess if they're there until like 6 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah, till 5.
You might as well
just fill your boots.
Yeah, I don't know if they bring out breakfast. Yeah, literally fill your boots. And I think, you know, it was an interesting thing because some people were really diving into it and other people were just having a little snack, but also using it as a time to sit down, have a little glass of wine and just catch up with people. And I love that sort of little miniature restaurant-y kind of, let's have a little natter and let's chill out before the craziness begins. And I think, you know, it was fine. We ate a bit of food and then we wandered around the club a bit more, which kind of walked off a bit of the food a bit.
And we didn't go crazy with the food anyway.
No.
We just had enough to kind of sate our appetites a bit. And
absolutely. But it does overlook the dance floor. So you can see all the craziness of people dancing and chatting and whatever going on. But actually you are a little bit removed. So it's quiet enough that you can have a bit of a conversation and just sort of take in the atmosphere really.
And then it really quickly filled up.
Oh yeah. It was nuts.
It was really strange. Like 1 minute it wasn't. And then the next minute I turned around and the dance floor was just couldn't see any space.
No.
It wasn't like so rammed that you wouldn't have been able to walk through the crowd, but also there wasn't really room to stand around.
It was taking minutes to go through the room rather than seconds. Yeah. And I think it's a big old place.
Oh, it's huge.
Every space was pretty much filled.
Yeah.
People were, you know, going off to playrooms. Some people were leaving, you know, they kind of came in, did their thing and then went. And but it was
probably got some more food.
Probably went, just kept going back to the buffet again and again and again.
I missed a trick here, didn't I?
Probably.
Should have just kept going back.
But it was all really nice and it didn't feel super rammed. It was getting to the point where I was like, oh, this feels quite densely packed. Mm-hmm. So I you know, you couldn't at one point get onto the dance. Well, you could get onto the dance floor, but you couldn't dance.
Just sway.
You just sway as long as the person next to you was swaying.
Drink very closely to your chest so that no one knocked you.
Your drink must be protected at all costs. But that's another thing. The drinks, to be fair, we had mostly glasses of wine from it and it was all very serviceable.
Oh, when we went in, they gave us a glass of bubbly as well.
Yes, and we had a glass of bubbles on the way in. So it was a really cool little venue. I really liked the sort of variety of the rooms. I really liked the atmosphere in it, and they'd done it up a bit, so it was a bit Moulin Rouge, a bit burlesque. So I don't know how different it was to the regular venue, but it certainly felt like they put a little bit of extra sparkle in there, and it gave a bit of that vibe over.
I agree. I definitely felt like I was at quite a really fancy event.
Yeah.
Because there were like gold balloons everywhere and lovely lights everywhere. And they really made an effort, I think. And as I said, I've got nothing to compare it to because we haven't been there before, but I was really impressed.
It was a
and
good
everyone
venue.
Looked amazing.
Everyone seemed to have put in a good effort. What was really interesting as well is that actually there was a huge variety of different backgrounds, ethnicities, ages. And so actually it felt like a real smorgasbord of people there. And there wasn't any one particular
I didn't feel
type.
out of place. I didn't feel like I was too old or, the wrong body shape or anything like that. It was just, everyone looked amazing no matter what size or age they were.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
There is an enforced dress down policy. Now, I think it's supposed...
You weren't looking forward to that, were
No, to me, it feels a bit like forced fun. And I don't like forced fun.
You don't like being told what to do.
No, it's like when you go on holiday and they get the reps out and they get you like dancing by the pool, or like Desire does it, and let's play a sexy game.
Pool games.
Like, fuck off. I don't want to play a stupid sexy game. I want to have my own fun and do it my way. And I don't like that style of stuff. So I wasn't really looking forward to it. So I think it's normally about 10:30 that they do this. Might be 11:30. I'm not quite sure.
I think it was later because I just don't
because
remember
New Year.
it.
Well, we decided that we'd get changed first, beat the rush into the changing rooms,
and do it on our terms.
And do it on our terms
when we wanted to, rather than someone making us do it.
Exactly, and it was quite funny because Cate turned around and asked each of us, at different times. So, what did you think about the enforced dress down? And I was very much of the it didn't affect me because I dressed down when I wanted to. So therefore, and then she asked you the same thing, and you said pretty much verbatim the exact same response, which is.
I was like, we decided to go and get changed when we wanted to. So we did. And I'm glad we did because it meant there was like a little nooky sort of dressing area around the side of the lockers with a mirror, which was really cute actually. It had like spotlights and it looked like a sort of show girl theme, like a theatre type vibe. Spotlights and a mirror and a little...
Almost Moulin Rouge.
There might have even been like hair straighteners or something. It was really nice little makeup area. So I got changed in there. Although I will say I was absolutely hot as balls.
I think
so hot.
Even having just dressed down, because I dressed down into shorts and sliders basically, like sandal type things, and with Spider-Man on them because, why not? I was fucking boiling my nuts off, and I had the smallest bits of material unknown to man, and it was very, very warm.
And I had some like feathers and some honey birdette thing to get into with like buckles and all sorts, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to ever get in this. I'm so hot.
Well, I think as soon as we walked into the club, I was wearing a jacket with a waistcoat and a shirt, and that jacket was, I was like, there's no fucking way. And to be fair, I'd always thought that, I probably won't wear the jacket for long, but it literally lasted going inside and then going to the changing rooms. And then before, the sleeves were rolled up within about 8.5 seconds. And, that was, it was very quickly descended into, actually, it would probably be better for all of us if we got changed and it would be a little bit cooler, which is nice. The other thing while we're there, actually, we bumped into a couple that were coming to our Red Hot party.
Yes, we did.
So it was really lovely. I think, I have a sneaking suspicion we bumped into them and didn't see them or didn't recognise them at first.
To be fair, it was quite dark.
It was. We were in some room with a tiger and mirrors and stuff. So I was like, I kind of saw someone. I was like,
and it wasn't until we went past. I went, oh, I'm sure. But then they'd walk past. But anyway, they came back and they found us and we sort of sat down and chilled out for a bit, which was really lovely.
Yeah, it was really cool just to be able to just have a bit of a chat.
Yeah.
And I think at that stage, the playrooms weren't really filling up. People were just sort of getting ready. I think people were sort of waiting for the New Year bit to kick in.
Right. They were on the dance floor, like where the action was going to be with the countdown. And there was a big clock.
Yeah.
Did you see a big timer on the wall where they were counting down the sort of minutes to New Year? So I think you're right. A lot of people were hanging around there ready to kind of cheers and go around and give everyone a kiss.
So we made the most of that opportunity, and basically
Where did we go?
We sat in a number of playrooms and just were having conversations and just chilling out. But eventually we decided that we'd go to a room and play.
Yes, we did. We went to the little tantric area, which had caught our eye earlier, and it was all pretty and secluded and quiet is more to the point. It was lovely and tranquil. Compared to like the club is noisy and there's music and...
The club is noisy.
But this was really tranquil and lovely.
was very quiet.
Just felt very different.
What I really liked is in the room there were condoms and there were
what are they called?
No, like paper towel type things, like kitchen rolls.
Yes, there were.
And there was also in this particular one there was some massage oil as well.
Oh my God! And some like bath towels, like
and there were towels available all over the place, which was really cool.
A nice bed that was covered as well with like material, it was like a
white
thing,
clean kind of thing.
But it had a cover.
Yes,
which was nice.
And it felt really nice. It was really dim lighting. It was really quiet where we were. You could draw the curtains. You had to sort of clamber up about 6 or 7 steps, almost to sort of like our height, so Hobbit height, if you imagine, folks. And then you're able to draw the curtains, but not properly shut them.
Yeah,
which meant that throughout the course of our time in that space, there were a number of heads, sort of discombobulated heads, just popping in. And because there were mirrors inside as well, you could see like pretty much every angle, but you could see like a head pop into the curtains, look around, and then sort of go popping back out. So it was quite funny. But what happened?
Okay, so we went into a little tantric area, and bear in mind I'd already carefully constructed this elaborate honey birdette underwear, feathers, ruffles, you name it. Took me ages to put the damn thing on. Anyway, we got in this little tantric area and I immediately took it all off. The first thing I did was take all my stuff off. Like, God damn it. It took me so long to put it on as well. But that's fine because it was for a really good reason.
And what was that reason?
I had to lie down.
You had to lie down. Okay. You got a little nap, huh?
No, there was not a pile of coats. I did not have a little nap.
Okay.
I basically got onto the bed, which was on the floor, and there was a mirror next to me. And when I was down on the floor, I was immediately kind of half blindfolded.
Well, one of the things that Cate asked was if you wanted a massage.
She did.
And you were like, yeah, I'll take a massage. And you're like, people are going to be massaging me while I'm lying down, but like chilled out on a nice little quiet area.
Sounds like something I can get behind.
You can get behind. We can massage your tummy after eating all that food.
That was not necessary. I don't think anyone did massage my tummy.
No.
That would have been slightly weird.
That would have been slightly strange. So you lie down on your tummy so that we couldn't massage it.
Well, everyone who knows me knows that I don't like my tummy anyway. So I lay on that.
You lay on that.
Yeah.
And basically we got the massage oil in between the 3 remaining parties, stroked pretty much every inch of you.
Yeah, you did.
For ages.
It was lovely.
It was really hot actually because everyone was sort of taking turns stroking you and lubing you up with oil. And
there was nothing about this I don't like.
You were very happy.
I was really happy. And then Darrell put a sort of a towel over my face a little bit so I couldn't see who was touching me. And I had to kind of work out who was touching me. And that was really hot. Occasionally the carefully constructed blindfold fell off and I could see what was going on a little bit in the mirror, but also it was really dark, so like not super dark but dark enough so I couldn't really immediately see what was happening. But then people started kissing me as well. So I think Darrell may well have started kissing me initially, and that might have been replaced by something else.
Well, what was really interesting, and I think they've covered it on their show, is that Cate's ability to communicate silently is notoriously bad.
I see.
So at one point, she sort of thrust her arm towards me and then rubbed her wrist on my arm.
Eh?
Yeah, that's
well,
what
I didn't see this.
No, because you were blindfolded. I'm like, what is this about? This is like weird. It transpires she wanted me to take her bangle off and put it on the side. She was trying to sort of give me the indication that she wanted to take her bangle off her looby hand. That
is amazing. I had no idea all this was going on behind me.
and of course we're sort of whispering and sort of gesturing while you're lying down there. And we're also sort of like one hand on you and stroking you calmly and sort of like waving our hands around like sort of mafia bosses, like trying to sort of capture each other's attention.
Were
and
three of you like communicating what to do?
To a certain extent, yes. I think sort of for a little while, Darrell was kind of on his own, up, down, towards your head.
Yes, he was.
And he was making out with you. And then all of a sudden his cock magically appeared after you held out your hand and sort of snapped your fingers.
Well, it just appeared.
It just appeared.
Yeah.
You reached out for it. I saw you do it.
Really?
Yes, you did.
Well, to be fair, it was in my line of vision. I could see it. And I was like, oh, there's that. Cool. So that was happening. I was on my tummy, and then what happened?
You tell me.
Right. Well, I think at this point there may have been some sex happening.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember now because there was a lot going on. No, I remember what happened next.
Oh, really? You do now?
Turned over.
Turned over, yes.
Did turn over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And at first, you were lying back with your head back.
Yes.
And you started giving Darrell head.
Yes.
Well, we started playing with you.
Do remember that.
And you had the towel sort of draped over your head, which you kept trying your very best to lose. Which is not draped over, it was folded over like some sort of blindfold. But you're sort of wiggling your head everywhere and it kept falling off. And we kept replacing it. And then while I was going down on you, I believe Cate sat on your face.
She did. So my eyes were shut and I had the blindfold. And then I kind of realized there was a pussy on my face. God, it took a lot for me to say that word, right?
No, it didn't. It took nothing.
New year, new me.
New year, new you. Okay.
I'm going to say pussy every episode now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
So yeah, she sat on my face.
Oh, good.
Which was really hot.
Which is really hot.
Really hot.
So I believe that while this was happening, then I moved upwards and I think I was making out with her while she was sat on your face.
Sounds like it would have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was trying to turn around in some sort of unbelievable twisting motion that didn't quite work. So we had to do some realignment.
Yeah.
But the whole experience was sort of getting hotter and hotter by the moment.
Really hot. I think the element of me kind of not being able to see a lot of what was going on was added to that, because at various points there were things happening to me, and then someone was kissing me, and then I was even giving head. I was like, oh my God.
So at one point, Cate was behind you, just sort of massaging you, right?
Yeah.
And then Darrell started fucking you. So then she was trapped underneath you while this was going on. And it was like a hot experience, but also I could see the sort of, oh, you're trapped, like come out, let's play. And she's sort of desperately stuck there. Well, not desperately stuck there. It wasn't like that bad a situation.
Then you retrieved her.
Yes, I retrieved her.
Okay.
So we all played with you, right?
Yeah.
And what happened? What did we do?
Well, you were playing with me, obviously.
Oh, good.
Am I missing something?
Well, no, I just think we all focused on you. We got a toy out.
Oh, I see. Yes, you did.
And then eventually we were able to help you come.
Yes. Yes. And I think Cate asked if I wanted to use it myself while you watched.
Well, I think we also, by watched, we just sort of carried on stroking you, just letting you play with yourself at the same time.
Yeah. But then I also then asked if, well, I think you and Cate started playing then.
Well, we started playing. So we all started playing with Cate for a bit after you'd come.
Yeah, she lay down.
And so you were sort of making out with her and
we were both going down on her.
Down on her at one point. Mm-hmm. And then between the three of us, Cate came, which was really hot because it was like a real teamwork. And then I started going down on her again.
Right.
Because we were all just chilling out because Darrell was fucked you a couple of times, I think, during the course of this, while this was all happening. And then I started going down on her and then she wanted to switch up and go down on me. Mm-hmm. And that was really hot. And then I was getting to the point where I was like totally and utterly going to come. So I was like,
I told everyone that I wanted to see you fuck each other.
Yeah, your exact words were, it's the Mrs. H special, I think.
Was it that I wanted to see you fuck her?
No, you wanted to see her fuck me.
Yeah, I did.
So she sat on top of me and absolutely fucked me.
Yes, I did remember that.
Now, this was all really hot and I absolutely came and it was like this really fun, sexy, hot environment. And I almost felt like I had a round of applause by the time I came, which was like great. I was like, yay.
Well, this was like half midnight.
Yeah, we actually continued.
So we saw in the new year.
Whilst banging, which was fantastic. And we looked at our watches and we were like, oh shit, it's like, oh, Happy New Year, everybody. So we had this really sort of cathartic, nice sort of chilled out moment where we were all lying naked together, just hanging around.
Yeah, it was really
But then we realized that it was chaos outside because more and more people kept sticking their heads through.
Oh yeah, it was getting a bit busier there.
So we kind of like this area. I mean, we could probably sit here for another hour or two and just shoot the breeze and just chill out and just sort of gentle strokes and plays while we're doing it. But people were desperate to use the room. So for a few moments, there was some jokey sex noises going on just to put people
Darrell.
off. That was pretty much Darrell until we heard someone like trying to match us sort of volume for volume in the next tent, as it were. So, and they were like, oh, we should probably stop doing this because this is quite bad and quite offensive. So after some shuffling around in the dark and trying to find everything, we eventually decided that we should probably rejoin the rest of the party.
Yeah.
So we climbed down the stairs after reassembling ourselves and went back to sort of the dance floor area and eventually like a little seated area next to the dance floor.
We went downstairs and drank like 2 pints of water.
Oh yeah, because we were just so warm.
Yeah. Well, we were just
so
needed to hydrate.
Yeah.
So we
put in a lot of good work,
just give us 2 pints of water immediately.
Well, that's the thing. But they served you in these tiny little plastic cups, like, you know, like when you get a coffee at work and it's out of a vending machine, like that size. Yeah, another. It was. We went through like 3 of those of water. And
what cracked me up was some lady, because we found a seat and she kept coming over to try and take them away. I was like, no, there's water and I need it. And we just get like downing more
I need
water.
to hydrate. So we sat down and chilled out for quite a bit. One thing that you know, what someone asked on our Discord was like how do you cope going to a foreign country and, you know, trying to interact with people while you're there and sort of setting up conversations. And in all honesty, we didn't really speak to very many people. We spoke to their friends for a couple of minutes and the odd person in the changing rooms. But really, we didn't really get approached by anybody.
No.
We really didn't chat to anybody or reach out to anybody, but equally we had our own little bubble of the 4 of us. So I think
we didn't really need to because I was having such a good time anyway. I mean, had Cate and Darrell kind of said, you know, dudes, we want to kind of go off into the crowd and mingle on our own, they would have been more than welcome to. Of course, we wouldn't have been like, no, you're ours now.
We've marked you with our scent.
But because we were having a good time anyway, like the 4 of us, it seemed, why change it?
Yeah.
You know, because we were having a great time.
I agree. I think if you wanted to, it would be relatively easy to talk to people because most people spoke English.
I think it would have been really easy to go into the crowd and just chat to people. You could have just danced alongside somebody. You could have just mingled. It was so easy because everyone was there. Yeah. It wasn't like everybody was in a playroom playing. There were tons of people just milling around. And by this point, everyone was pretty much dressed down, I would say. Although there were a few who were maybe in a little clothes. But
not
I think
many.
It would have been really easy to start a conversation with someone, even with the language barriers, because a lot of people do speak English, like you say.
I think I didn't get the sense that people were necessarily catching up with other people, though. For a large chunk of it, it felt that people were generally sticking to themselves, as far as I could see, because we sat down for like 45 minutes and observed the place while we were talking. And I didn't see much connection building. Of course, it's impossible to know which partner is with which person and all this sort of thing. But what I would say is that I didn't see lots of people going up to everyone else and chatting and trying to build connections. That said, it's New Year's Eve. How much of that ever gets done on New Year's Eve, I don't know.
That's very true. I mean, I saw a lot of what looked like couples just chilling and sitting and, you know, kind of and just being happy from what I could see. Everyone seemed to be really happy.
Yes. No one seemed particularly drunk.
No.
Everyone seemed pretty cool. We didn't see any major arguments or anything happening. Everyone seemed to be in really good spirits.
Yeah, they really did. In fact, when I went to the bathroom, when we were down in that little bar area at the end, it was really nice in there actually. And a woman in there complimented me on my feathers and my underwear and stuff. So people were nice and approachable and there was a really nice, friendly vibe.
Yeah. But equally, I didn't see many people coming and making those connections. So I just, you know, I don't think we can speak with any great experience on the matter because we didn't really witness any and that wasn't really what we were looking for as part of that evening. So I think just keep that in mind if you're going there. We spoke to reception and we were able to get a cab. I think, to be fair, we caught someone else's cab.
I don't know.
Bus.
I'm so confused by it.
Well, it basically the hotel.
It was the same.
Runs the same company, the same shuttle in a loop constantly every 15 minutes or whatever, as far as we could figure out. And ours was booked for 5:45 or 4:45, whatever time it was. They said, yeah, sure, we'll get the shuttle bus. And we just jumped on it. No one else was in there and they took us back.
To be fair, there wasn't like there was a group of people trying to get in.
No, there was no one.
There was no one out there. And this was about, I don't know, 2:15 maybe.
I think it was about 1:30, I think. It wasn't
It was. I remember it being like 1:48 when I went up to get my locker stuff.
Okay. So it wasn't super late.
No.
But already the time was 1 hour ahead of where we're used to.
And
so
we've been up since 6:30.
Yeah, so it did feel, there was no way on earth that we're going to make all the way there. But what we did do is we did go back to Cate and Darrell's room and just chilled out with them.
Oh,
and
we
just
finished off the bottle of bubbly.
Yeah,
and we just hung out. It was nice.
It was really lovely just to sort of see the very end of the...
And for the 4th time, I took off my complicated underwear. And Darrell lent me a T-shirt and I just lay on the bed and like played with Penny.
Did you give him that T-shirt back?
Yes.
Okay, because you have a habit of stealing people's clothes.
Do you remember the next day we were joking that I'd flinked on it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is true.
I don't know what that means, but I didn't.
Sounds like the sort of
Flink
thing
is the name of a shop in Holland.
Probably, yeah. So overall, I'd say the club was a really lovely club. It was really nice. I don't know what it would be like in a non-New Year's Eve capacity.
Well, Kate seemed to think that it wasn't vastly different.
No, maybe a bit
bear in mind,
quieter.
She's only got one extra experience on us, I guess. So,
but I would definitely say if you're in the area, go check it out, go experience it.
I would definitely go back. It was lovely.
I think, would I say that it's necessarily any better than clubs we've experienced over in the UK? I mean, it was comparable to Le Boudoir, I'd say.
No, definitely.
Similar sort of...
I liked the decor. It felt really a bit more at market.
It did. I think bits of it looked a bit old, but it kind of had a charm that went with it as well. So I didn't, but actually I'd say, if you're in the area, go and have a look at it, go and check it out. It's a pretty good experience, and the food and drink and everything being included makes it sort of quite a bargain, really, even though you're paying much more to go to a club. I would say, is it my favourite club? Probably not. But if I was in the area, I would definitely go again. And it would be great to go with a bunch of friends and stuff as well. And I'm sure there'll be opportunity for that later in the year at some point or other.
I think so.
So I'd say that. I think in terms of the new year, we had an absolute blast. We were able to stay with Cate and Darrell for another day. Got to hang around theirs. And they were absolute perfect hosts. It was such a lovely time.
Really lovely way to spend a new year. I was really sad to go home, actually.
I think we were both... in fact, really everyone was really sad to be leaving each other.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things is that now that they're much closer, it's much more... we've become friends of convenience now rather than just friends from a distance, which is...
We're only welcome because we're closer.
No, I think we've demonstrated that we're all right now. I think we should be cool. But it is nice that they are only a short plane ride away. Yeah. And in fact, we can go from Southampton Airport, which is sort of minutes from our house, which is even better.
Would you now like to check out Fata Morgana, which is another...
I think I'd like to do it. I think it would be worth having a look at that. I'm not in a huge rush to do it. I mean, there's clubs over here and I don't have the budget to do it all the time, but
that is also
as an experience, I'd like to see what it's like, compare the two and get a sense of how that one runs as well. So
Fata Morgana was not open new, was it? So
no, they shut over much of the winter period, I think. So, but again, let's see what the new year brings and see what we can find for popping over again and having a nice time. So we're going to see them again, obviously, because they're going to come over and co-host with us. Or we're going to co-host with them next month on the 25th of February at the Red Hot Party.
I'm not going because I haven't decided what to wear. So I'm now officially banned from my own party.
You're not banned yet. You've got like 3 or 4 weeks to sort your outfit out. And you should be fine.
To be red, right?
But it doesn't have to be red, but it should be red. Okay, and I've got a month to get the sparkliest of all things.
You have loads of things.
I do, but I can always have more things.
Ugh.
And, I'm sure that I will look delightful.
I'm sure you will.
I'm sure you will, once you've chosen all your stuff. So, anything else to add, Mrs. H?
I don't think so. I mean, we've had a great start to the new year. I think really excited about loads of things that we've already got written in my new diary.
Yeah.
I'm rapidly starting to fill that up. We've got tons of things that we're going on. We're catching up with people. We're hosting next month, which is exciting. And we've got Miami in October. So there's already things going on.
It's already started. I think pretty much January's booked up.
Yeah, January is now done.
It's booked up.
It's completely
February's starting to fill up already.
Yeah.
I think there's only 1 week spare, 1 weekend spare. So yeah, it's going to be a busy old couple of months.
I'm excited. I want to fill my year with lovely. Oh my God. No.
Oh, okay.
I don't just want to fill it with cock. How dare you?
You want to fill it with pussy?
Both, maybe. People. I want to fill it with lovely people.
You want to fill yourself with people.
Oh, would you stop putting words in my mouth?
Putting cocks in your mouth.
Can't say anything. Okay. I'm genuinely looking forward to making new connections because there's always new connections to be made. And, all the events that we've hosted so far, we've always met new people each time.
Yeah.
And then we've carried on making more and more friends. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to catching up with previous connections and, maintaining some of the awesome relationships we've already got. So I just want to spend my year feeling the love, with like all the people that mean a lot to me.
This sounds perfect to me.
It does.
Right. Do your thing then.
Thank you for hopping into our bed.
Telling a joke? Have you got a joke ready?
Maybe.
You maybe have a joke ready.
Possibly. Who's
are you
asking?
scrolling now, are you?
No, I've got one.
Okay,
I'm
go on
not
then.
Scrolling at all. All right. I'm going to do a really short one.
Okay.
Really short one because I don't want to take up too much of your valuable airtime.
Okay.
Okay. So yesterday, I was out walking in the street, just wandering down the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a guy messing around he was on the pavement trying to pick some things up. So I went over to see what he was doing, and I noticed that he's actually spilled a load of little tiny Scrabble tiles on the ground. And so I asked him, "What's the word on the street?" Oh, come on, that was great.
That seems very convoluted just to get
it's
that
not
little
convoluted.
thing.
It's all about a journey, babe.